You really expect them to barge through the front door?
Just don't stand out in the open, Walter.
I'll work as fast as I can. I just need a little time. Walter! Are you all right?
Hello, again.
I'm almost done! Just a bit longer!
There's never enough time, is there?
Protect the artifact! Ignore them. Focus!
Cover Noelle. We're out as soon as she's ready.
Does anyone know what that feels?
Persistence.
I have all the artifacts. Everyone, follow me! There's an almost Come on!
taking the shortest path to my destination. But now, I think I'll just kick back, enjoy the long road. In case you didn't notice, I have a way of getting around unseen. Although I'll admit, retreat isn't a humiliation I've had to endure in some time. You should be proud. There's a greater purpose to all this. You might have a larger role than I realized. Mistake on my part. Keep collecting the artifacts. We'll meet again. Maybe you'll glimpse the unity yet.
Barrett, it's Sarah. Barrett, we're going to keep going. We'll finish this adventure you started. It's okay. Be at peace. He's gone. We can't change anything now. Come on.
You're alive. Krix's ghost can keep waiting. No tears for the old. Got the others to worry about.
He came out of nowhere. Thank you. I don't think I can move right away. But I'll make it. Go on.
Dad! The others are here. We're going to be okay.
I really messed up on this one, friend. Usually the last guy to get outdrawn. Back at you. I don't think I'm gonna be moving around too much for a bit. But I'll be alright. Oh, thank the stars beyond.
Vladimir! Oh, thank goodness. Where's Barrett?
He's gone. We need to talk locks and bolts. Lodge and the Eye are not secure. Years in the making to modify the station. Take time to fix the damage, but more is the worse if we abandon her and try to start over. Just means he's playing the waiting man's game. He'll be back once we've done all the work of collecting the other pieces.
The hunter, he probably found us because we're somewhere obvious. High-populated area, just like how the Starborn found you orbiting Neon the first time. But the fact that they're competing with us to find the artifacts means they can't get them without searching.
So we put the artifacts somewhere in the fringe, or on something that can slip from their grasp if they do another strike from the curtain. Clear from the few encounters we've had that the artifacts are all the Starborn prize.
They could come after us, though. Try to find out where we put them.
Need to take the risk. The Eye, the equipment in the lodge, not easily moved. Gotta hope whatever is giving the hunter pause applies to the whole. Just need to make another direct hit less the jackpot. Fine idea. Starborn show up, you can burn helium in one spin of the grav drive to anywhere.
Here, keep the artifacts safe. I guess we'll meet back at the lodge after.
Grief is common in these moments, or so I am told.
constellation has lost people before, but not like this. I need you to stay strong. There will be time to fall apart once this is all over.
There's been an incident. Please continue going about your business.
Constellation has suffered losses before, although none quite so violently.
I know. Look, we all feel like we've been kicked into the ground. A million times over, but I think I have something. I'm serious. If I may, I know our encounter with the Hunter is the last thing anyone wants to talk about right now, but he said something that I can't get out of my mind. Unity. Do you remember that? Exactly. Somehow. The thing is, I've heard that word before. It's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas's speeches.
The priest? Is the Sanctum Universum going to bless our little crusade of discovery?
It can't be a coincidence. The Sanctum has always believed that answers are out there in the stars. Look, I know it's the longest of shots and the biggest leap of faith I could ever ask us all to take, but why not talk to him? It's right here in the city, just a block or so from the lodge.
There's no harm in gathering more information. A visit to the Sanctum might actually be quite enlightening.
Thank you. I know it's not much to go on, but something about this feels right. I'll meet you over there.
Morale in the lodge has been measurably reduced. I will be monitoring everyone's vitals for signs of continued trauma. You may. I will do my best to provide satisfactory answers. It is impossible to read Barrett. He is neither a book nor a block of code. If you are asking for a summary of my observations on his behavior, I will provide one. No, I was manufactured by a machine. However, Barrett has modified my programming substantially. I have advanced linguistic capability and navigational skills. I warned him that I would require an extra millisecond to process information with his modifications, but he did not seem to mind. Apparently, my capacity for conversation makes me a more entertaining travel companion. I have only seen Barrett kill his enemies. If you do not number among them, I surmise it was accidental. What you are suffering from is likely a bad first impression. I suggest consulting Barrett on the issue at once. Barrett tells me a bad first impression is the hardest thing to break. I believe that is because he has never tried to break a diamond. Barrett has not shared many personal details with me. He finds me a poor conversation partner, despite repeated attempts on his part. I do not understand the concept of gossip. My internal clock tells me that it has been years since Barrett and I began traveling together. I have traveled much of the settled systems in his company. Based on my understanding of Barrett, I believe he would be flattered by that assessment. I find you to be a more measured and logical captain than Barrett. It would be quite difficult for another human to be more reckless than him. My likelihood of expiration due to corporeal destruction has been significantly reduced since coming aboard your ship. You should consider this a success. I am powered by wheels and cogs. They are responsible for any ticking that emanates from me. Constellation recovered me from an abandoned lunar robotics factory on Earth's moon, where I was manufactured. I am told I was in quite a state of disrepair. Barrett elected to refurbish me after the discovery. Since then, I have been reprogrammed to be useful to Constellation. That is correct. I am a first-generation Model A robot. As such, I was manufactured on Earth's moon. Modern lunar robotics products are manufactured elsewhere. Some data from my time on Earth's moon remains deep in my motherboard, but I do not frequently access it. very little of what is in those files would prove useful to modern spacefarers. Constellation named me after the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama, who resided on Earth in the 15th century AD. He explored his home planet by way of its seas. Barrett tells me he was quite an accomplished explorer. I am inclined to believe it, as that is a compliment Barrett normally reserves for himself. Constellation is an exceptionally driven and intelligent group of humans. I would expect nothing less of them. I will answer your questions truthfully. Unlike you, I am incapable of lying. That is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience human emotions such as enjoyment. However, I have been kept busy since Constellation acquired me. That satisfies my directive to be as helpful as possible for the duration of my existence. Constellation has seen to it that I possess a near encyclopedic knowledge of human history, art, culture, and science. May I answer a question for you? Logically, I believe the correct answer to be the airplane, followed shortly by the computer. Humans could not have become a spacefaring species without them. Illogically speaking, I am inclined to believe that books were your greatest invention. I have spent a good deal of time processing works of science fiction. They make good case studies in how your species could have made a mess of its entry into the stars in different ways than you did in reality. I am looking at one. I hope that was a suitable response. Constellation did not equip me with a sense of humor. I have done my best to mimic Barrett's. This is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience enjoyment. However, I find that the music of ancient Japan has a pleasantly mathematical sound. The same is true of the works of European composers from the Baroque period. I have dedicated significant time to processing these compositions and understanding their structure. I have been programmed to comprehend all modern and ancient human languages. The only exception is body language. My body is crafted from reinforced metal and therefore incompatible with such forms of expression. Understood. In a geographical sense, the lodge cannot be missed. It is easily accessible from the New Atlantis spaceport, but I presume that you are using miss in this context to mean long for, in which case my answer is no. I long for nothing. Barrett, however, regularly complains about missing the lodge's amenities during our travels. This has led me to the conclusion that it is a place worth missing. It would seem that spending an extended period of time in Barrett's company has resulted in an improved ability to calculate his speech patterns. Perhaps someday I will also be capable of emulating yours. I will endeavor to provide a satisfactory answer. Lunar Robotics is a manufacturing company. They are most notable for creating Model A robots. Their headquarters was once located on Earth's moon. It was evacuated during the cataclysm that rendered Earth uninhabitable. Today, Lunar Robotics products are still found throughout the settled systems, myself included. Disengaging conversational protocols.
I'm not sure when things will feel safer. But we have not been attacked again.
No more Starborn have shown up.
Morale in the lodge has been measurably reduced.
How are you easing into things, Andreja? Is our mutual acquaintance helping with the transition to this new way of life for you?
Yes.
No more Starborn have shown up.
After a person sneezes,
Yes.
someone invariably invokes the phrase, "bless you."
Thank you for helping me out with the artifacts. You mean what could be the biggest discovery in the history of humanity? Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Scans are still inconclusive, but I think we've seen enough to know that we're dealing with something potentially even more unusual than the artifacts. There are so many questions beyond just who are they? How did they find you? How do they know about the artifacts? Why has no one ever seen them before? They did openly threaten you, as I understand it. I'd say that's something to worry about. It was one thing when this was just about us investigating the artifacts. A weird phenomenon that didn't come with creepy threats or questions about aliens or whatever it is that's going on now. I know we'll figure it all out in the end. It's just kind of a lot right now.
The lodge doesn't feel the same, does it? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Just thinking.
Hey there.
Everything good? We're here to help.
Keeper Aquilus, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds?
Keeper, we were hoping to talk to you about unity.
You want to subject your friend here to one of our talks, Mateo? The future of humanity is always a long discussion.
No, that's not exactly what I meant. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps you should talk about this inside. Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
They're like nothing we've ever seen, Keeper. Gravitational distortion, sub-audio harmonic sequencing, unidentifiable energy fluctuations.
I caught half of that. So, these things are unusual? Even in your experience? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe. Beyond rational thought. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more. I'm not sure if he was, but if what you're looking for is connected, then anything might be possible. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun, and he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code, a way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave? I agree. I think you need to talk to them about this unity pilgrim. And clearly, not just in a theological sense, as I have. Because I wasn't looking to find unity in the same sense you are. A fresh set of eyes might reveal the truth. The enlightened work out of the well here in New Atlantis, helping the poorest citizens find a better life for themselves. Varun worshippers are more enigmatic, but there is a lone zealot that was captured recently for attacking UC ships. I visited her a couple of times. Hopefully she'll be willing to talk to you as well.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
truth over that incident between Mateo and Rosa at the Sanctum?
I'd hardly call it an incident, more of a debate, really. But I appreciate it just the same.
Not a problem. In the meantime, maybe you could tell him to take it down a notch.
Can do. Thanks again, Sergeant.
Something to report. Evening, sir.
A visitor? I have all the company I need. Jokes. You come to hear about Varun. Like the guards. Like the Keeper.
I don't think it was a joke. It was an attempt at some genuine sympathy.
The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less.
Anything you could tell us would be tremendously helpful.
Yes, I have spoken to your Keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him, and then you will leave me. Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all. I have heard of no such thing. If it exists, it is a shadow that the Great Serpent casts to deceive the faithless. Strength and conviction show your worthiness to the Great Serpent. The kill is not as important as showing there is no doubt. I grow tired of speaking. Leave me. The Great Serpent devours all but the faithful. No, I have told you what I will. Everything else is between me and the Great Serpent. The Great Serpent called me to fight the unbelievers in the United Colonies. But I was ambushed, and my ship disabled. Now, I am here.
When you have a few minutes, there's something I'd like to discuss. I'm sure they had something we can use.
thinking about checking out the new restaurant over by the embassy? I doubt it.
If you're looking for a tracker, you've come to the right place. If not, well...
If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, we're not. Sorry. Can I help you?
We don't mean to be intrusive. Any information you could provide would be very useful.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilas is describing. Yeah, I mean, he's always going on about trying to bring people of all beliefs together. Really wants there to be some shared story or origin. Look, I like the Keeper, but belief is the problem, okay? We don't need a shared narrative or theology. We need to help each other in practical terms. A man walks into the first house of enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of two that. It's part of our core principles. There's no God pushing us to do good for some eternal reward. We have to help each other because we choose to. If no one takes responsibility for making the settled systems better, then we're just leaving it to the tyrants to bully the rest of us. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Besides what the Keeper would say about it? Sounds like a gathering point, or a center. Or in mathematics it would mean one, like the one, the first or the beginning. Sorry I couldn't be of more help, but that's about all I've got. Hope you find what you're looking for.
We should have a talk when you have the time, of course.
People joke, say those Varun zealots worship a snake.
This can't be good for our equipment.
Another day, another...
Have you ever heard one of his sermons? They're really good.
One simple jump. The same as I'd made dozens of times before, and something touched me. Something warm and kind and good.
Well, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. What else did you learn? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Was there anything else? Yes. What he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Well, I suppose that'll make someone laugh. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum, at 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the Pilgrim's resting place. And from there, maybe you'll find the true meaning of unity. Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it? Ah, but what makes something like that holy? Gravity is also a force that brings things together. Should that be sanctified? It is one of the great contradictions of belief. We feel the presence of something out there, but we insist that it is also everywhere. So you think this word unity describes that divine unknowableness that the Pilgrim searched for?
Ancient humans thought the concept of gravity was miraculous. Until we know more about the unity, we also could be jumping to the wrong conclusions.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.
I have something I need to discuss with you.
Look,
I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you. The fact that you risked your life to save me, I don't know what to say. Then I'll say it again, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. My only wish is that my rescue hadn't come at the expense of Barrett's life. He was one of my closest colleagues and a cherished friend. He always knew how to make me laugh. I'll miss him dearly. I don't have to. I blame myself. Our charter at Constellation has always been to analyze the unknown, but rarely at the expense of our members' lives. Yet all the while, I've been cavalier about taking risks and pushing the boundaries, not appreciating the true cost of my actions. Had I not pushed so hard to pursue the Starborn, perhaps none of this would have happened at all, and Barrett would still be alive. No, she wouldn't. But was it worth the cost? Damn it! Why is this happening to us? We're explorers. Our curiosity pushes us to seek answers to life's mysteries. It's one of the core traits of humankind. Yet in return, this is what the universe throws at us. Beings from God knows where who are trying to murder us. Why? What have we done wrong? No. I refuse to allow Barrett's death to be attributed to bad luck. It isn't fair. The question is, where do we go from here? Do we stop exploring? Stop pushing the boundaries? Take a more aggressive posture towards the universe? I don't know where to begin. I suppose you're right. I just hope we don't make the same fatal mistake twice. Well, I suppose that's all I had on my mind for now. Oh, it was a relief to get all of that out in the open. I'm sorry I got so angry. But I assure you, it's nothing personal. You're the only one I feel comfortable talking with about these things. Thank you. Hearing you say that makes me feel a lot less guilty about monopolizing your time with my own problems. Well, we have a long road ahead of us. I suppose it's high time we get back to work.